Yeah, I tried to find the button. Yeah, thanks.
I got it.
Thank you, Jim.
I got it going.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep. I think it's controlled by my computer. I'm not totally sure about the intricacies of Zoom land.
Yeah.
But thank you all. I noticed some faces that were here like 24 hours ago, which like shocks and surprises me. I'm hopeful that you're taking care of yourself along the way. It's a very important skill to cultivate your vitality. I know I've been taking breaks, but I've been so engaged. I've been here more than I thought I would. I just had so much fun and connection with you all. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Marta to you. This is my first time being with Marta. So I'm really looking forward to finding out what we can learn. And as Anisha mentioned, her topic is transcending roles. So in just a moment, we'll launch into that. But at the top of the next hour, we're just going to have a splashdown party. The metaphor for this has been a launch. And so we'll splash down an hour from now and just hang out for about 15 more minutes or so to celebrate and to mourn together and to express gratitude. And so if you want to stick around for about 15 minutes at the end, you're welcome to do that. And without further ado, thank you, Marta, for being here. Please launch and tell us what you plan to do today.
Not busy for you. 1 minute. I'll knock off my music.
It's at the moment I'm quite tense because I just got up and bumped into the previous session without video, which caused some discomfort for some people. So I'm with some kind of mourning at the moment. Yeah, and at the same time, I'm very pleased to be here to support the launching of the book and the matrix, which was so valuable tool for me during my preparation for certification and also integration of skills and learning. Yeah, and I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your faces in the windows, in these boxes on the screen. And I really want to connect to all of you all around the world, probably. I'm in Poland, it's 6 a.m. I just got up and trying to, Thank you, like your expressions, your wavings and smiles really support me in the moment. And I would like to ask Jürgen to, I don't see you, I hope you are there.
I'm here, Marta.
Yeah, okay. So please, Jürgen will be inviting you to buy the books and to donate for CNVC.
Yeah, before I do that, I would like to give you a message that later in this session, we'll prepare some breakout rooms. And, oh, I see. I'm nervous. I haven't spoken to so many people lately. If you don't want to be in a breakout room, please put this equal sign in front of your name. That makes it much easier for me to do that later. And now I pass on this message from Jim and the organizers that about at the beginning, with a few words about the Center of Nonviolent Communication, the CNVC. It was started by Marshall Rosenberg and his colleagues more than 35 years ago to help make nonviolent communication available for everyone that would like to learn it. Since then, CNVC has developed a network of certified trainers offering NVC training around the world. Because of the effects of the global pandemic, CNVC has lost an important source of sustainability because in-personal international intensive trainings are on hold. Although CNVC has made adjustments, including innovative virtual intensive training. We still need your support to continue our mission. There are two ways you can support us right now. First, buy as many copies as you can, joyfully purchase of them of Jim's new book. I'll put the link in the chat for you. The profits from all book sales will go to CNVC. Both Jim and Paddle Dancer Press are donating any proceeds to support to CNVC. The books are only $10 a piece, so they make great gifts for upcoming holiday season. The books include several strategies to support you and others in deepening your understanding and integration of nonviolent communication. And believe me, it's helped me also on my path. I'm putting the link in the chat now. Secondly, please consider becoming a monthly sponsor of CNVC by choosing a regular donation amount. You support CNVC in planning for our future. Here is the link to the donation page. Multitasking is not my preferred. So thank you for continuing your support for our mission of nonviolence. Thank you. And back to Marta.
Thank you. This session will be on transcending roles, and we start with really connecting what are roles we are holding in life. I'm Marta Kulaga from Poland. I hold the role of a trainer, entrepreneur, mother, leader, and many, many others. I'm hopeful for connection here in this session and creating more awareness about the relationships with different roles we are holding. We take in love to, and the aim is to gain freedom in the way we want to hold these roles, to have more authenticity, meaning, and connection. When I first saw Matrix and one of these skills, it was like opening my eyes, like someone turned on the light, especially because I was struggling with my role as a leader. I didn't want to be the leader. No, I was just a so-called normal person busy with my life. And suddenly I called a kind of call because I had small children and I couldn't find a place for them, the kindergarten, when I could be really calm, that their needs are met, that they are seen as human beings. So I decided to start a kindergarten. It was more than 20 years ago. And then I realized I'm not seen as me any longer. I'm seen as an owner, manager, director, leader, headmaster. And where is me? Where is Marta Kulaga with her humanity? So my first strategy, which I see now as a really tragic in a way, because I abdicated from the role. I didn't want to have it. Like, no, don't call me headmaster. Don't call me headmaster. So I see that it was really desperate need to be seen as a human being. And with time, I developed more adult relationship with that role. I gained more freedom. And when I saw Matrix and these 4 skills, I realized like it was like a map. Okay, where are you in the moment with these different roles? So let's have a look at roles we can hold in life. So first we can have a group of these roles we call even our identity. So we have no choice about them, like gender, nationality, race. Yeah. You are born, I was born as a white person in Poland, as a woman. So at one level, I saw it as my identity, and on another level, I'm kind of privileged person with access to education, warm and sustainable life. The other group of roles is roles you develop in your life, like kind of naturally. Yeah, you become mother, father, partner, wife, elder, daughter, sister. And another group is they have some specific behaviors. Because you behave in a specific way in a group, you got kind of a label. For example, oh, she's shy, or she's a disruptor. He's a rebel, helper, reader, cleaner. And in different groups, the same person can develop a different kind of behavior in a different role. And the fourth is this, there are roles in this narrow sense. Yeah, we want to have them, or we decide to have them, or we train to have them. And I ask you now to like connect with the roles you are holding in life. And if you are willing, I ask you to share in the big group or to write in the chat window. What roles are you holding? Is anyone willing to share about their roles? Magda, okay, please.
Yeah, so just as you shared, I noticed like how many roles I have, and it's like being a woman, being a mother, and being a wife, and being a chemist, and being a trainer and coach, and being a friend, and being a sister and a daughter. So there are so many.
Thank you. So I see that now you realize the scope of your roles. Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, it's like everywhere I show up, it's almost like there is some role.
Yeah. We can even be in a role of a customer. Yeah, when we go to the shop and when we have a kind of relation with services, then we may be put in this role of a customer. So how a customer behaves. Yeah, what is a normal behavior of a customer? Okay.
I have I saw in the chat, Jennifer was writing, an old person, a widow, a client in therapy, and a very powerless person, or an actually unseen person.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And so someone says if this is a joke, I find it funny. This is to this unseen person. I'm not clear about it.
Sorry,
It's
that was to me.
That was I'm so sorry. That was addressed to Jürgen, and he was saying his role is tech support. So I'm just trying to make a connection with him, I suppose.
To add to my clarity, because I'm not looking at the chat, and when I have a glimpse, I was confused. Thank you very much. And now look at these roles and find one you have a really emotional reaction when you see this role. It can be different reaction. Isabel, please. I see your.
Yes, I just wanted to share that, and thank you, Martha, for bringing this topic. I'm really enjoying. And I just wanted to share, in addition to what the first speaker shared, that I live in Korea, where we are always aware of our roles, in particular because of the language structure itself. So the way we address one another is not by the first name, but oftentimes we actually call each other by the name, such as if you're a mother, you're constantly a mother, and this is everywhere universal. But imagine being called by your last name and your title all the time. So to just explain, for example, if I go to a laundry shop, perhaps elsewhere you just call the other person Jim. But here we have a name for that person. And so we're constantly reminded of our roles. And one thing that I wanted to share is sometimes our roles conflict with each other. If my relationship with you is right now a teacher and a student, but elsewhere we are friends, it gets pretty confusing. And just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this up, because language structures can really reinforce this identification with roles. And at the same time, we may have this internal relationship with that. So true, yeah. And also about this conflicting, roles. When I'm with my mother and my son, I see it's not comfortable because I'm a little bit different with relationship to my mother as a daughter and with my son as a mother. Yeah. Okay, Magda.
Yeah. So just hearing Isabel, what I want to add is like here in US, when I go to doctor with my kids, they would never address me as a ma'am or anything like that. They always say, "Mom, can you do this? Mom, can you do that?" And I remember I was so angry at that. I was like, what the hell? I'm just a human being here. And they just put me into one role.
Yeah. Thank you. So when we look at these roles, I guess you found one with your emotional relationship you would like to work on in this session. So there are two questions, two perspectives. So one is, what is my internal relationship with my role? How am I holding this role? And of course, it is influenced by many things, but many triggers around. As you, Magda, say, how people address me, how they treat me, what beliefs they are holding about this role. Yeah. So this is one aspect, my inner relationship with my role. And the other is, how do you relate with others holding different roles? Can you connect to them, their humanity in their roles, especially across the power and hierarchy structures? So when someone is higher in the hierarchy, holds power, are you able to see their struggle? And we will, I want to invite you to this first aspect. So my relationship with my role. And the exercise for you is to, like, I will guide you through this exercise, and you can write down some notes, or you can just think about it. So it will be, I will give you like 40 seconds to 1 minute to each question you can reflect to. And after this exercise, the intention is to invite you to breakout rooms where you can share how, what have you seen in this exercise, what you touched, okay? So the first we've already done. Yes?
Can you give us an example?
Could you repeat, please?
Could you give us an example?
Example.
Like, walk through it with something that you can demonstrate with.
Like number one, maybe.
Yes, yes. I will do it. That was my plan, to give you my clarity, what all the questions are about. So thank you also for the question. So I would like to choose the role of a mother. I'm connected now, yeah? So when I connect to the role of my mother, of a mother, the emotional relation is some kind of heaviness inside me and discomfort. Yeah. So observe your emotional relationship with the role you have chosen. Next one is write down or think of some observation about what you do in this role, actions, behaviors, words, or the things that you don't do because of this role. So in my role of my mother, I cooked a lot. Yeah, I cooked a lot. Yes?
Marta, please tell me more about the things that you don't do because the role of the mother.
Okay. I didn't meet friends as much as I wanted. Yeah.
Oh, that's more clear. Thank you, Marta.
And in my role as a leader, I didn't show my emotions because I had this idea or my kind of weaknesses or struggle. Yeah? Does it give you more clarity?
Yes, a lot. Thank you.
Okay. So the third question is, what are your thoughts about this role, beliefs, shoulds and shouldn'ts? So in my role as a mother, I should cook, I should nourish my children, I should be there for them, I shouldn't entertain myself because it's not what a mother should do. Mother should give her life to the children, something like that. That was the story I had in my head. Yeah, and what feelings are alive now? Connect to your body. What's in your chest? What's in your throat? How are you feeling your back and your shoulders? if more thoughts come now, make space for them, because when you start thinking about something, something can be stimulated, and even more thoughts may come. Like some morning, if someone taught me at school about these roles, I could have more freedom. I could have more joy in having these roles. Yeah. If I had more awareness, my whole family could have been more happy. Next question is an invitation to connect to met and unmet needs in this role. So when I look at my role as mother, I'm connected with met needs of support, connection, contribution, and unmet needs are spontaneity, authenticity, joy. Okay, and I ask you to do this gesture with your hands. When on one hand you hold these unmet needs and on the other needs met in your role. And they can be the same needs, really. Yeah, we might be surprised that they may be the same. And just try to hold them and see your emotional reaction to them. When, in my case, I have the need for contribution and the need for joy. And I experience a lot of sadness around it. Yeah. So connect with the feelings which are alive now. And the next step in this exercise might be quite challenging to understand, and I try to show it. Because now I imagine my role of a mother like standing in front of me. Yeah. So this is like me, and this is me in the role of a mother. What do you want to tell that role in your life? And for me is, I see your effort to hold both, to be true to yourself and to be devoted to your children. And I see your struggle in it. So do you have any questions about this part of the exercise? Like you are talking to your role, or do you have clarity? Just give me some kind of sign, like yes. Yes, I see some heads nodding. Thank you. Mm-hmm. You may want to write down these words. Mm-hmm. Okay, and now is the next part of this exercise, which is stand in the place of your role. Yeah. So now I'm in this place of my role as a mother. And see if there are some words coming to you through this role. And in my case, I'm connected to the sense of guilt and also recognition how much I inherited from my mother and her mother, not allowing themselves to be women, to be joyful, to be free. And I'm also connected to wanting to give the daughters a different example. So look for you, what comes when you embody this role. And as a closing of this exercise, there are 3 questions. In which aspect your role is your trap? In which aspect your role is your shelter? In which aspect your role is your support? What do I mean? In which aspect your role is a trap? So for me, my role as a mother is a trap because I'm trapped in these beliefs. I see them, now I'm conscious of them, and at the same time, they are really limiting. In which aspect your role is your shelter? I can imagine many times when I'm embodying this role to feel safe. Yeah. To speak from the role, to gain more like authority when I have this role. And in which aspect your role is your support? Yeah. I don't see this aspect now of support. Yeah, and I can imagine there are some like, yeah. Lo Martins, please, Lo.
Hi, Marta. Would you please just clarify a little bit the difference between the second and the third questions? As the shelter and the, what's the question?
For me, the shelter is a place I want to hide a bit, to hide, to get some safety, not to be seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Support is something that gives me strength. Yeah, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
So Jürgen, are you willing to upload these materials in the chat if you want to have these materials in the breakout rooms? Maybe to go back to some questions, maybe to discuss what they mean, or to exchange how it was for you. How the role can be support. Thank you for the question. The more I'm connected with the support, with my role of as a leader. It gives me support when in a difficult situation, yeah. I hold the responsibility which comes with this role, and then gives me the support in making decisions which can be difficult for me and for others. And I see that this role has some responsibilities in it. So it gives me the support in difficult decisions, for example. Maybe someone else has other examples of a role as a shelter, trap, or support. Like if you share your example, if you have clarity, that may be inspiration for others.
Marta, I can share how being a mother gave me support, and that was I was a single mom, and therefore it gave me the strength to carry on and be better. That like I may have just ended up, you know, feeling sorry for myself, but I couldn't be because I had my kids to take care of. So it gave me strength and courage to face the next day. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm really, I feel goosebumps. Yeah. How much this role, I'm responsible for others in the role. Yeah. Yeah. It's not about me. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I invite you to breakout rooms for 10 minutes. And if you don't want to be in the breakout rooms, as Jürgen said, please this equality sign. And there will be 3 people in one room, can be 2 or 4, yeah? Jürgen, I don't hear you and I don't see exactly what you mean.
Sorry, I have 2 in one room. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Thank
you.
You
did it already.
How long do we have? How long do we?
10 minutes. 10 minutes to share. Yeah, your experience, and afterwards I invite you to share in the big room.
I'm rearranging now.
What my preference is to really invite everyone to the rooms. I'm not sure. Are you doing?
In a second, I'm doing it. So we're ready.
Yeah, we're ready. Okay. Enjoy your breakout rooms. And I see some people who decided not to be in the breakout rooms. And my question is, do you have any preferences? How would you like to spend this time in a big group, or you just want to be on your own. Just if you can express your needs at the moment, it would support me to manage this time together.
Since this is the place where the recording is happening, I would love it if any of you would be willing to share about Marta's questions so that it will be available for folks who will be listening to the recording later, because we don't record the breakout rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also willing to turn the recording off if you don't want to be recorded and want to speak up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, is there a request to pause the recording?
Not yet. It's the request for choice and expressing this choice.
Okay.
And Sarah Hoy asked to be in the breakout room, as I see.
Yeah, I'm Sirisha. I too want to go to a breakout room. I don't know why I'm not.
Okay, Sarah, I'll find a room for you.
Mm-hmm.
First, I need to find you.
And Marie asked to be in the breakout.
Yeah, I can't find them, so I'm looking.
Okay, so Jürgen is working on that. Mm-hmm. I see Sarah. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name.
Sirisha.
So unmute yourself, Sarah.
Sarah Joy.
Sarah Joy.
Sirisha.
Sarah Joy, you raised your hand to be in the breakout room.
Yeah,
yes?
I got you.
Okay, thank you.
And there was one more.
Sirisha wanted to.
Yeah, Sirisha is in the breakout room now.
Okay.
I can also go. There's a room.
Annie?
Annie? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I see it's quite challenging to manage these breakout rooms now, I guess.
Thank you for appreciating that.
And I see Sarah Joy is still not in the breakout room.
Sarah Joy.
I also see a request from Corey to go into a different room than the one that she was in.
Corey. Thank you, Jim. Jim, can you see them? Oh, I saw her. I see her.
I see an opening. Here we go. Yeah, you put her in 4. That's good. Great. Now Yen's no longer alone. That's perfect.
The other one, which was not.
Sarah Joy.
Sarah Joy.
And the first is A, letter A, because sometimes it's in the.
Here she is.
That's why maybe you couldn't.
That's fine.
I got her. Yeah.
No, I've been in 2 breakout rooms and the people are just not there. I guess eating or whatever. So
that's Corey.
Yeah, it's
Corey.
just,
there was no one in the room I sent you.
Both rooms. They're not talking, so that means they're eating or whatever. I understand, but.
Hi, this is Sangeeta here. I wouldn't mind going into a breakout room with Corey.
Okay, that'd be great.
That was, who was that now?
Sangeeta. Sangeeta. Sangeeta.
I see you, yeah.
Corey and Sangeeta in one breakout room.
That is room. Corey, you haven't entered room 4, have you?
Yes, I went there, but the person doesn't answer. They're not listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I sent Sangeeta into room 4 as well then.
Yeah, and that person's not there.
If you go back to room 4, I have allocated Sangeeta also to room 4.
That's fine. I don't see the prompt though.
Mm.
The prompt is in. Do you have this in the lower line breakout rooms?
Oh, okay. Oh, now I see. Yes.
Yeah, and someone, Sarah Joy asked me for help, so I go to room 16 now. Or Jim, could you do that for us?
Sure, I can go to 16.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to appreciate Marta example. Yeah, I thought I was just listening to the session, and then yeah, your example really, yeah, it's resonate. I guess you can say that. And then what comes up for me is that it is so much about what we interpret that road, what we understand that, and what we then put on ourselves, isn't it? And maybe, as you said, our own mother, or maybe the society, or our own understanding or shaping. And how do we then allow ourselves to also be the other part, that longing for, or the other thing that seems to maybe in our concept contradict what we should be doing for that road. So I really appreciating the chosen example that you have used. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I see that it is resonating on 2 levels, on a level of your own example as well, on your own experience. Does it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And also on the level of like meta level, like to see on many roles we are holding. Yeah, it's not only in this role, like different roles are having their shoulds and shouldn'ts.
Yeah, and it's a funny one. It's almost like how we somehow quite almost like automatically seeing at the first reaction is like seeing that my own longing and my role is like conflict. Mm-hmm. And it's like how we then see beyond that and seeing that it is one. But then quite often we like, they can't coexist, and we're seeing this or that, and it's that huge blockage. And yeah, I was asked a question yesterday, it's like, are they totally, what's the word? Can't coexist. Yeah, like a contradict. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so much about our own limitation or perception, isn't it, sometimes? Or not allowing ourselves to self-judgment, maybe. And I'll pause here.
Yeah. Like a lot of this contradicting comes from our beliefs and thinking. Yeah. And how I see this aim of this working with roles is finding your freedom, finding your choice and easiness and yourself in this role. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess what coming up as I named that it is all my own allowing and my own giving permission, that I can't help but thinking, you can ground into it. It's like, yes, you can practice, and then once we get thrown back into, our community or, relatives or parents that have different ideas, and yeah.
Almost like suffocating or struggling with this, struggle. Mm-hmm. I guess the breakout rooms should be ending now, Jürgen. Okay. Welcome back. I see that there were some struggle with being in the breakout rooms, and sometimes people are not responding. And I hope at least some of you had some exchange, and we also had some exchange in the big room. So I invite you for like 5 minutes to share your experience, please, who is willing?
Ola, did you raise your hand?
No.
Excuse me, Marta. I was in the breakout room for the second time. I'm not sure whether it's your intention to expand the time for us or it's just an accident.
That, I guess, was an accident. I stopped all sessions now.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm a little lost.
You were lost?
No, because we were here and are we supposed to be here?
Yes, we are back in the big room now. Yes. We are in the big room. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say something if I could.
Please.
It was nice to be in the group with the other two people. However, I think we were all lost, and I'm not sure, but I don't think we got benefit out of it. It was like too short, and nobody seemed to know. I mean, it's not like we didn't talk, but after each person was talked, I had this empty and sad feeling. It's like, well, we didn't get anywhere there.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I might be the only one that had that feeling, but I wanted to share that.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing. Thank you. Yeah.
I see Chin Chin's hand.
Yeah, Chin Chin, please. Mm-hmm.
I would like to appreciate the exercise, but I like to say that I feel sorry for Francisca first, that she had not enough time to finish her sentence. And I'd love to hear more from you, Francisca. I hope that we have more time to discuss. And what I really like from this exercise is a very simple question. The question that I ask you, please clarify the example of what you don't do as in the role. Because when I examine that, I see that it's kind of a hidden issue that we might not think of it much in our daily life. Most of the time you think, oh, what should we do as a mother? What should we do as a teacher? Something like that. But when we think of the things that we don't do, it leads to the unmet needs that very important. For example, like as you said that you don't go out with friends, and I see that, oh, that's so sad. And it's like the miss as relationship, friendship, and intimacy maybe not exist at this situation. And it's very important. And when we can see that what we don't do and leads to the unmet needs, it's really fulfill our life more because we are aware of it. And apart from that, I like the way that you ask us to hold the met and unmet needs to make it more physical, receiving physically. And at last, I like the way that we take the role and speak to each other as ourselves and the role. It it's like it expands the space from one part of us and the other part of us. It makes it clear and insightful exercise. I'm really grateful for this. Thank you so much, Marta.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know how much significance and meaning it had for you. Thank you. And I see Siresha. Yeah, do I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah. Thank you, Marta. I just want to add, before I joined the breakout rooms, I apologize to Jim that I didn't contribute there in the main room before joining, because I didn't do this exercise completely when you're telling that. So I didn't have a complete idea to contribute. But in our breakout rooms, I just concentrated on the last 3 questions you gave. And I found out like I took a role of a mother. And when I became a mother, I stopped working and I felt like a trap. Like as if I was sacrificing something and my career, especially, and like for 10 years, maybe I didn't do jobs. So it was like a trap. My freedom was gone, no friends. And then coming to the next question. So in which aspects your life is your shelter? So after 10 years, my kids are a little grown up and I can do work, but now I'm scared of going into the world again to pursue my career. So I felt like those few years I was hiding myself, not exposing myself to the world. That's one thing. And the other thing, like now I have a support actually. My kids are my support. And in COVID times, especially to talk. So yeah, thank you for this exercise. Later, when I get the recording, I'll do it completely. And yeah, I think it will benefit me more at that time. But yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you have this material, so really you can come back to this exercise and to do it more thoroughly and deeply. And you see this, this skill in the matrix. Like when we might be with different roles in different places, like coming from being unaware and stuck in the role to this integrated state when we have more freedom, when we gracefully and easily assume, respond to, and refrain from roles, aware of interdependence beyond roles. Thank you very much for this time together. Thank you, Jürgen, for support. And thank you, Jim, for organizing this, this event for us. And Jürgen, it's the time for this invitation to donation. Are you willing to do that? You are muted.
You're muted, Jürgen.
Thank you. I'm now. So, and there is also an invitation to all who haven't registered yet to do that, so that they can get access to the recordings. And I will post this now, this link. And yeah. And if you are leaving us now, please consider the following requests. Fulfilling these requests will support CNVC in continuing our mission to make nonviolent communication accessible through our website and our network of trainers. First, buy as many copies as you can joyfully purchase of Jim's new book. I'll put the link, actually I will put 2 links, because I saw that there are some trouble with shipment. And
how long will the
Francesca?
How long will the recordings be available?
I think
Jim?
it's a question to Jim.
I'll answer when Jürgen is finished. Okay, Francesca?
Okay, thank you.
So the books are only $10 a piece, so they make great gifts for the upcoming holiday season. The book includes several strategies to support you and others in deepening your understanding and integration on nonviolent communication. And second, please consider becoming a monthly sponsor of CNVC by choosing a regular donation amount. You support CNVC in planning for our future and making our training accessible to more people. And here is the link to the donation page. Finally, if you have feedback about today's event, we want to hear it. Please post your comments on this page. And now I thank you all for your continuing support, and we are grateful to be in partnership with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jürgen, and thank you, Marta. Any final words, Marta, for you?
I feel at the moment a little bit torn, like I would really love more to connect with your participants, and I would love to be in a real life with you in one room, to have more sense of you. And at the same time, I'm grateful that it was possible to do it in this way. And I'm also mourning all unmet needs during the session. Thank you very much. And thank you, Jim and Jory, and all the people who contributed to organize this event. Thank you.
Thank you. It was really sweet to hang out with you. I really enjoyed your presentation. And one of the things I love about going to things like this is I managed to figure out a way to steal. Marshall used to call it appropriation, to just appropriate somebody else's training ideas and then integrate them into my own. Which one of the things I love about our training community is we give each other a lot of help, and we share our handouts with everybody, and that's the spirit that Jake and Jack and Jory and I had when we created the Matrix in the first place. When we finished it, we worked on the thing for about 3 years, and when we finally were ready to get it done, we had a lot of meetings where we connected about the copyright issue. And we went into some deep experiences of connection, just like the whole process of writing the Matrix was a very deep process of consent and partnership. And we ended up with a Creative Commons license. So that means that we retain a copyright, but we also give it away. So if you decide that you like something in the Matrix and you want to write your own book about it, maybe even in your own language, or create a whole new Matrix with different NVC skills or any of that, we love that. Just please keep us in the loop so that we can keep it on our website. And that website is pathways-to-liberation.com. And we're at the top, a little bit past the top of the hour, and I wrote a final email out this morning just to welcome people for a final launch farewell for the next few minutes or so. And I want to answer Francesca's question, which was how long will the recordings be up? It's going to take a while for me to get them up. We tried all kinds of new things. There's never been anything like this with 28 single hour sessions. And so I hope we have recordings. We'll find out in a day or two, but I imagine we did. We got a backup and we got multiple copies. And so I imagine we'll get something. Once they go up, it'll be on a webpage on pathways-to-liberation.com, and they will be there until our star goes into supernova, or as long as the internet lasts, whichever comes first. There's no intention to ever take them down. And we want these to be a gift to the world. I'm so grateful that the trainers decided to support this project. And I also want to acknowledge some people behind the scenes that, unless I said their names, you would never knew all the help that they gave me. I already talked about Eric. I don't know if you were here when I sang your praises earlier. but also my longtime friend, Danielle Beenders, who used to be an employee at CNBC. She's been a friend of ours since Jory and I moved to LA when Jory was the interim director of CNBC. And she planted some very important seeds that made this event what it is today. And so we ended up coordinating this event with the United Nations Day of Nonviolence, which is in concert with Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. And so it's wonderful that we also figured out a way to include everybody on the planet. So everybody could come. I glanced in at several times when I wasn't here. There was always between 60 and 100 people here. And when we first started planning this, I thought we'd be lucky if there would be 10 people in each session. So I'm so grateful for the turnout. And the other acknowledgement I want to make is to someone who some of you might have seen this presentation earlier today. It's too early for me. But Rob Eames from Philadelphia, he's also a candidate that I have the pleasure of working with. And Rob built that webpage, pathways-to-liberation.com, all as a volunteer. He coordinated all the mailings that you got, all as a volunteer. He created forms on the Matrix site so you can guide yourself through your own self-assessments anytime you want. And we're working on a program, so you'll get reminders once every 3 months or once every 6 months, or how you'll get to decide if you want a reminder to revisit the Matrix and do another self-assessment. So a big mahalo to Rob and Danielle for your behind the scenes support. And the last supporter that I really want to acknowledge is Jory. I don't know if you're here, Jory, and if you could just put your screen on so people can see the beautiful face that I get to live with. But Jory and I have been married for more than 40 years. She's been my partner. That's one of my favorite roles that I have in my life, is partner with Jory. And we've been partnering for since 1978. And so I can't even do the math anymore, but it's like we are extensions of one another. We share so many of the same needs. In fact, we share all the same needs, but sometimes at the strategy level, it's like it leaves me scratching my head and it leaves her scratching her head. And that's part of the fun of it, is trying to figure out how we negotiate that. So thank you so much, Jory, for all the unasked for requests that you empathized in me along the way. And then also how responsive you were to the requests that I did make. So a big mahalo to you for that. Mahalo, by the way, is the Hawaiian word for thank you.
My pleasure.
It actually means I like the way you do that. Jory, go ahead.
My pleasure. I get the joy of living with you and all the adventures that we go on together. And I really appreciate everybody who's part of this great adventure of creating a nonviolent culture in the world.
Thank you, dear. And one last invitation. Actually, before I say the last thing, I wonder if there's anybody else who wants to celebrate anything for, let's set aside 7 minutes. If anybody would like to raise your hand and just say anything that's alive in you as we come to a close here.
I would just like all of us to give Jim and Jory a big applause, and all of the trainers also. First, Jim and Jory. All of us, can we just together applaud and celebrate them? Okay,
wave your hand.
So let's unmute everyone.
Thank you so much, Jim and Jory, and thanks to all the contributors, all in every way, the ones who shared the sessions, the ones who supported the sharing, the ones who initiated. Thank you so much. It's been such a delicious party with so many delicious, tasty dishes, and wisdom, pearls of wisdom for us to carry with us. Thank you for sharing yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Juliana. And just to acknowledge Juliana, Juliana is another behind the scenes supporter. She keeps me connected to many of the candidates and practitioners in India. She reminds them of our practice group and lets them know what Jim and Jory are doing, again, as an unpaid volunteer. And it's been a real pleasure watching you unfold your flower as you walk along the pathway of the matrix and integrating nonviolent communication. It's just such a delight to watch you grow and touch the beauty that is your nature as a human being. Thank you, Juliana.
Thank
and
you so
Isabel.
much. Thank you so much, Jory. Yeah, for your contribution to my life. Yeah.
I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to say
Isabel, my friend from
If I
Korea.
may.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting. I just wanted to say that your book launch and this entire event it's so aligned with the person that I have seen you and Jory to be. And I love belonging to this community where I have so many friends, Lou, Eric, and then Juliana, everyone. Forgive me if I don't mention your names. You know, the spirit that you brought with Matrix and the length of time that it took you, Jim and Jory, that I look so up to in terms of the learning. So because I know you've been on the journey ahead of me, and yet it took you all these years to do it, and to watch the culmination, to be invited to this congratulation, just fills me with such hope, such joy, that I had to say it. Thank you for being there, Jim and Jory.
Thank you. It's really fun to take it in, Isabel. And I hope one of these days this pandemic becomes a memory and we get to come back and visit you again in Korea. I'm just being able to go and be my friends there. Thank you, Isabel. And Margaret?
I just want to say that I feel very blessed to have been here. I wasn't too sure about coming, and I'm so glad I didn't miss it. I did tune in yesterday for some of it and went to bed for a few hours and then back today. But yeah, no, it's been an absolute joy and blessing. So thank you. I feel so uplifted and so connected to so many people. So I am very grateful. And I look forward to getting and reading your book. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that this is being recorded. If I ever have a down day, all I have to do is listen to the last 10 minutes of this whole thing and it'll cheer me up. Jan, go ahead.
Hi. Forgive me for not putting my camera on. I'm now in bed because it's a little late in Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, but I didn't plan to do any of this until I saw your email come across, in my email, and I thought, oh wow, that looks perfect. And I've just been so amazed at how every session that I was able to attend was just a joy. And then when I went into breakout rooms, I met people who've been sort of up for 10 hours or 14 hours, and pretty impressive. So anyway, it's just been a wonderful gift, and thank you for everybody who put so much into it. I've really enjoyed what I could attend. Thank you so much. And I've known you both, first met you in 2006, which you probably forget because you've met so many people, but I've always remembered the IIT at Albuquerque in 2006, which is where I met you.
Yes, thank you, Jan, for reminding me of that. That was what I call the short sheet IIT, because the sheets didn't fit on the bed, and it was like became a course in constant practice for patience. Thank you, Jan.
I remember that too. Thanks for the reminder.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. I didn't know that about the short sheets, but thank you. It's funny.
Okay, Monica.
I just wanted to say thank you, Jim and Jory, so much for inviting me, and thank you all the trainers and everybody in the breakout rooms. I was going through a really tough time and I really, really needed this NVC, and I went to most of the trainings and it was so awesome. So it really helped me a lot. So I really wanted to say thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you
mahalo,
for coming.
mahalo for being here. Yeah.
Yeah, mahalo, mahalo. She's a fellow Hawaiian. resident.
Yeah, she shared with me how to not kill myself when I do boogie boarding. And I've never forgotten your advice. You're a good trainer, Monica.
Thank you.
And I never stopped appreciating that he survived that. Thank you.
And Sangeeta?
Just in very short, I just want to thank both of you, Jim and Jory, because you have inspired a lot many of us whose NVC journey has just begun. So mine just has begun 5 months back, and I have taken humongous knowledge, wisdom, and so much more. I can't even point out in word what I have taken from your sessions, these 28, all of the 28 sessions, as many as I could have attended. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's from the bottom of mine to the bottom of yours. Really appreciate hanging out there. Yeah. Anybody else? Go ahead. I think it might be Beth. I'm not sure. On the phone, 615. Yep.
Good memory, Jim. It's me. It's Beth.
Yay.
Good memory.
So yes, I'm really appreciating this as well. I attended many of the sessions and very delighted that the ones I couldn't attend will be recorded. I have a request for my ease. I don't know how, if this will be difficult for you at all, but there is an option to make the Zoom audio recordings available, as well as video. And if that's available to me, it contributes to my
problem.
Thank you. And
I'm so
the other
glad
thing,
I love hearing your request, Beth, because it gives meaning to me to know that someone will enjoy it. It's a little extra work to make those audio files, but knowing that you're going to enjoy them just makes my heart leap.
well, I'm glad to hear that I can contribute to you in that way while you're contributing to me. Because I'm able then to download it onto a device that is very easy for me to use and very portable, and then I can listen to the recordings anywhere at any time. And so that's delightful for me. Also, from that first session that you led in the breakout group, I know Ahmed told you that I was interested in an audio version of your book. I plan on buying several copies for friends for Christmas who can read the books, but what came up in the breakout when I was talking to Ahmed, and as it came to what step could you take to get this thing that would fit in the box, what step would you take to bring that into manifestation? And what I said I wanted to do was talk to you about the possibility of getting with Pedal Dancer Press and reading it yourself. I love your voice, Jim. I think I've probably told you this before, but you sound so much like John Denver. Maybe you should be singing.
Oh my goodness.
That's a new one.
That's a request you probably don't want to make.
But I would enjoy.
I only know how to sing in one key, and that's off.
Very true. Very true. Very talented man, but not singing. No.
So maybe don't sing along with the book, but if you would be willing to read, I love your voice. Of course, I know they're professional readers, but a lot of authors read their books, and I know that I would enjoy that. I'm also willing to talk with the people at Pedal Dancer Press, something I've thought about doing anyway, because I would love to have access to the whole NVC library in an audio version. There are a few things like Sarah Payton's Your Resonant Self is available in an audio form, but most of the books are not. So that's something I'm willing to do, and if partnering with you in any way will help bring that around, I would love to do that.
Thank you. Why don't you send me an email about once a week until I say, okay, Beth, I'm going to find a way to do it now. I really like the idea. It's a little bit daunting to me to figure out how to take kind of a nonfiction book that has lots of charts and so forth and turn it into something that would be really alive. But I like the idea of solving the puzzle. So I would, my next step request for you is keep bugging me about it. Either call me or send me a text or an email or whatever works for you. And maybe we can make that happen. And I can certainly forward your request on to Meiji at Puddle Dancer about more audio recordings.
Okay, I will be happy to do that. Something that my daughter has requested as well, and I love it because I say, so you don't hear this as nagging? And she says, no, it's reminders that I appreciate. So.
Amen. Especially, I'm about to have my 66th birthday. Please buy me a book for, please buy my book for my birthday. That's an uncalled for plug after about 56 plugs. Geez. Anyway, I'm going to turn 66, and I really appreciate the reminders because even though I've been pretty short my whole life, I'm noticing my memory gets shorter and shorter almost every day. So thanks for the reminders, Beth.
On which day of October, Jim?
The 20th.
Oh, wow. Lovely.
Don't send me flowers, but you can send me an email.
No, I had to send you wishes and blessings. Yeah. Yeah. And flowers virtually.
Thank you. Yes, that's great. Savitri.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Really, I feel very grateful, Jim, for this beautiful session. I'm from, I've been with NVC since 2004 and been quite active in the initial years trying to share it also. Later, I went into some other like meditation and other spiritual practices. And I'm really very happy to be back with the NVC community. I can see a lot of growth and evolution has happened. And it's wonderful, this platform which you have created. And it was really a lot of learning for me. And I'm really celebrating it. And I would like to be connected and again get back into the certification process. And I'm really happy to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Savitri, and thanks for all that you do to support our mission. I'm very grateful for all that you've done to build a life-serving system within yourself and your relationships and now with your social change work. Thank you. And Lou, my friend from Brazil.
Oh, my future assessor. On the 20th, I'll be writing to you. It's 2:30 a.m. in Brazil. I had a heavy and busy working day, but I was most of the day checking all the Zoom meetings, and they were so enriching for this specific time of my life that I would like to express my deep gratitude. I couldn't tell it would be so enriching for me, and it was. So my big thanks to you and Jory and all this beautiful team of trainers and assistants, and for how you were enriching my life and some other people around me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying up. I hope you get a good night's sleep. And really look forward to we'll be connecting for years as you walk down this path together and integrate NVC. I can't wait to see
and I won't be sleeping, I guess, because my meetings with you both is always very late for me. But it's really worth the effort. Thank you so much for all the beautiful work you offer.
Thank you very much. So I just remember two more people that I want to thank, and maybe this will be our closing, is Jeff Brown, the interim director at CNVC, has been supportive of this event. He announced it on Facebook, and then he sent a mailing out to, I don't know how many people are on CNVC's email list. I was very touched for that level of support and mutuality. And of course, Meiji at Puddle Dancer Press, who, when I told him about this project, somehow he said yes to a very crazy idea. let's publish a book and not make any money. I mean, that takes a lot for someone who's in the business of making books. So it's a huge mahalo to Meiji for partnering with me to support CNBC. And he has led many people to the nonviolent communication path by offering Marshall's books from the beginning. I believe Marshall's book has now sold something like 5 million copies. I'm probably exaggerating because I exaggerate more than anybody else in the world. But thank you so much, Meiji, for promoting our mission to make the world an abundant place where everybody's needs can be met reliably and abundantly. And one last invitation. I've been so inspired. This wasn't our intention, but Jory and I talked about it today. So I'm putting a link into one final link. Hallelujah. For those of you who are still here, this is for our open-hearted practice group, which meets every Monday at 4:30 at Hawaii time. So that would be 3 hours ago, if you wanted to do the math, to find out if it works for you. We'll send you an invitation to the Monday group, and we will start working on these matrix skills. We will do we will take them in order, starting with presence on Monday. And so we'll all walk together. It's been a few years since Jory and I did this on NBC Academy. And so I thought this is the great time. Jory said, why don't we do this? And I said, great idea. And so we'll start on Monday with presence, and we'll build a foundation that then you can walk on through the rest of your NBC path. Those practice groups are also in the service of CNBC. We're doing it all on a contribution basis. So we trust you to follow your heart and give compassionately in whatever way that you can. So here we are at the bottom of the hour.
I just want to say that we do this for a 2-hour period on Monday, where we are. So we have an opportunity to go deeper and have more connections. So please join us if that's in your joy.
Yeah, sometimes the breakout rooms are even 30 or 40 minutes long. And so for those of you who are frustrated today by the short breakouts, come and have the luxury and the abundance that we can have during our Monday groups. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for participating. To the 55 of you that are still here with us, thank you again to Jürgen and all the support staff and all the trainers. May the world be full of the peace that you bring it. See you soon, I hope. Aloha. If you want to, you can just unmute yourself and just say bye.
Mahalo. Mahalo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Joey.
Bye.
Everybody. Hi, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Mahalo. Mahalo.
Sleep well.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Have a nice day for those of you in India.
Hi, Jaya. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lovely seeing you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a nice rest.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Suzanne.
Hi, Juliana.
Yeah. Love you too. Bye, Savitri.
Bye.
Bye, Bye, Valeria.